we'll get to that in a little bit. But the teams currently are for USNZ. We have Chillerfrost, B-Wins is Alberto, Ak, Minzy, and Conchonat, and then USNZ plus Nova Waffles is Metsuzen, Osh, Into the Void 4, Uplum, and Muck. So we're just gonna get started and see how things go. Nice, okay. We're not here, so we can do a map tour. So, Throne was made way into the Void 4, and it was a contest, a map for the BPF map making contest a little while ago, but it just now got finished by Into the Void, and we'll do, I guess, a little tour. The void drop for this is not quite at the very start, so there's some stuff behind the starting drop, which is a bit unique to this map, and teams are ready, so so much for that tour. Alright, we'll just see where teams go and see how it goes. Ooh, nice lag there. Muck dies right away. A little less than ideal. Another thing that's a bit unique to this map is you take fall damage after dropping from the starting drop, so we'll see when teams actually secure their starting drop a little bit. Ak fell from high place from that initial fall damage. We have a bit of an iron run right away from, what is it, Chillerfrost? No, that's Conchonat. Osh getting a bunch of kills at the start, getting both Chillerfrost and Ak again. So he's locking down the... let's change that. Okay. So it looks like he's locking down the very start to begin with. A little bit of a choke point up here, trying to get up here, but looks like both teams have made it. We have Muck in the resources. This is a TNT room, and Minnie is just making it to the gold room. So Muck might be trying to make a cannon to get the other TNT spies right now. But Minnie is just grabbing the supplies in the gold room, the brewing supplies, and then getting out right away. Really quick cannon from Muck. Gets all of the cannon supplies over here, so no resource denial potential for USNZ. And firing a second shot just to make sure all of the supplies are gone. And we just have a quick dry cannon from Minnie to get the iron. It gets all of the iron blocks. The entities from the chest are still there, but really quick cannon and really, really effective. So a lot of resource denial at the beginning for both teams, just a bit different in which resources they're denying. So another cannon for the diamond blocks. It only gets 2 of them, and then one of the entities dropped, which is a little unlucky for USNZ, but it does put USNZ an impact on a timer to try and get to these resources as fast as possible before they despawn. So there's some gold armor in the throne room. It looks like Muck has the gold armor, and B-Wins has the gold armor. And looks like both teams, for the most part, are congregated around this throne area, trying to get some manpower pressure. Osh getting a kill to give USNZ an impact, a little bit more of an advantage. And looks like Muck is continuing his TNT rampage, trying to set up a cannon in this water right here. Not sure what he went back to grab, but this iron might not last very long for USNZ. Although it looks like they don't really need it. There's an iron pick somewhere on the map, and Minnie's just going straight for the diamonds. And he's able to grab them straight through the top. He can dig through this one stained clay to get in from the top. Otherwise, you'd have to dig through at least one of the obsidian blocks. And that's potentially what Void is doing right now to get through to their resources. So it looks like they're going to be able to get 2 of the diamond blocks, which is really good considering the cannon could have been really brutal. And then whatever happened with Muck's cannon was a little too slow, Minnie's able to get the iron blocks as well. So we have 4 of the people for USNZ over here, and then Minnie's last one. Ak getting a bunch of kills, getting some more PvP pressure over the stone area, and Muck's trying his cannon again. It's gonna get the chest, so some basic supplies that Minnie's not gonna be able to have access to, but he didn't really have the inventory for it anyway, so no harm, no foul for the most part. Still no attempts on wolves quite yet. Looks like iMpaKT and Noble Waffles have secured their spawn drop a little bit more than USNZ has. So USNZ is just hoping that they don't die, so they don't have to take the fall damage there. And it looks like Minnie's actually passing up resources to the surface, which is something that's kind of unique to. Usually resources are bedrocked off, so you have to come all the way out or pass around a little more precariously to get resources to your team, but due to the lack of bedrock, you can just kind of pass the chest up. And we have another dry cannon coming from Minnie, trying to get this enchanting supplies, and it gets the chest, but Void already grabbed the supplies from it, so nothing too helpful there, and Minnie just unleashing a Wrath of Silverfish in the process. And then Muck going for his own cannon, not quite getting the enchanting supplies, and because of that, Minnie's going to be able to get the enchanting supplies as well. So Ak is in full diamond right now from the supplies that Minnie passed up, so he has some really good PvP pressure at the surface over here right now. Who's this? Muck is going through to the secondary resource area, although this already got cannoned while I was away. Contra not doing a secondary resource run. There's one diamond block up here and a couple of diamond ore spread throughout, but this chest with some basic supplies is gone, and if Muck doesn't hurry, this last block is probably going to be gone as well. Not able to get the block, but he can see that he didn't get the block, so he's probably firing it again. And Muck realizing that, yeah, the diamond block's still there. So he might just be spamming the cannon to try and get this one block. So we'll check back in on that a little bit more. Muck just opting to go for secondary enchanting supplies, which isn't entirely necessary. There was a cannon, assuming by Muck, to get USNZ's secondary enchanting supplies. Didn't quite get everything in the chest, but USNZ got the primary enchanting supplies, so not too detrimental that the supplies got cannoned. Also have enchanting from Ak. Not only does he have the full enchanted diamond, he has a power 1 bow, which is going to be demolishing Uplum right there, and really anyone coming back from spawn trying to progress in the rest of the map. This is a really good map lockdown area. It's not locking down any walls, but it's locking down USNZ from continuing on throughout the map. So with the diamonds over there getting cannoned, looks like Osh came over here to get some of the diamond ore, and Joe Frost is going to be setting up a cannon to try and get rid of said diamond ore, and Osh as well. Void came over here to clear out the first area, it seems, but didn't really make too much progress in the rest of the wool. This is a new wool from the previous version of the map, so looks like it's a lot more PvP focused as opposed to PvE focused like the first version was. So could have been looking to run it earlier and try and lock it down. Cannon coming out, getting most of the diamond ore in the process. Although I was trying to counter cannon, doesn't counter the cannon, just counters his own terrain. So that's a bit of the downside of dry cannons. He just has to block up to try and stay alive currently. Did he succeed in getting the diamond block? Looks like he did not. Looks like Muck was able to get a good amount of diamonds considering how much was destroyed. So Conchonaut's just mining the resources that are in here, opting to ignore trying to kill Muck and just letting him get what is left. No, not too much progress on the rest of the map. B1's is over here. B1's and Matsuzen are over here. There's some iron, some looks like brewing supplies over here. Looks like Matsuzen was able to get a little bit. He has full iron for the most part. And B1's trying to get the power bill that's over here to try and combat that full iron. So a lot of resources underground over here. That serve two purposes. One to potentially gear up, and one gives you a pretty nice angle on this PvP wall at the end. So Conchon is coming out with resources, 28 diamond blocks, or 28 diamond ore, diamonds. Pretty solid haul. Not quite as much as Muck was able to get, but 15 diamonds considering the advantage that Conchonaut had. Someone's pick broke. The early advantage that Conchonaut had with the TNT, all things considered, not too bad from Muck's part. Looks like he made some armor with those diamonds and has opted to wear them, and he's back on the surface. So right now it's a 2v1, sort of, over at the second half of the map. Muck coming down here as well. He could be gearing up to run this PvP wall with Matsuzen's pressure. And right now he really only has pressure from BUNs. He could get some pressure from Conchonaut. Yeah, he could definitely get some pressure from Conchonaut if he notices that they're running. But they might just be trying to gear up currently. We'll check up back on that to see if Muck's making any progress. Doesn't look like any progress on second wall, which makes sense. That's a hefty wall that could be difficult to run. No pressure currently on first wall, although it looks like Minnie and Chiller Frost are gearing up in this section, so they could be gearing up to camp themselves over here for the entirety of the match. Uplum and Ashen in some pretty decent armor. Ak is he the one shooting? Yeah, Ak was the one shooting over here. Now that people have progressed further, that map lockdown wasn't, or terrain lockdown wasn't entirely required. So it does look like Muck is trying to make some progress on this wall. He made it past the first big ladder section at only half health, so B1's is doing a good job with this power bow. Although he's blocked off in a really good position that Matsuzen can't quite do anything to try and stop him. He is grabbing the TNT that's in this area. Not that much TNT, but he could set up a cannon to try and get rid of it. He does have a lot more TNT than that. Probably a handoff from Muck's resource run. And B1's noticing the threat of a cannon and just getting out immediately. So Muck's just going to be regenning a little bit. What does he have to take on this wall? He does have some potions. He has 2 regen 2 potions, so he could very well. I wonder what he's saving that part for. Probably this section is what he's saving at least one of the regen potions for. But once he chugs that, he's going to be pretty free to just, even though there are power bows that he has to worry about, he will be pretty free to just run straight through for the most part. Although Ak did come over here from the start of the map to try and help out with PvP pressure. Conchonaut is here as well with his own power bow. So it's going to be 2 power bows that Muck's going to have to worry about. Although he did get to the next safe section. So he has a little bit to go before he's finished. He has to go through this water in this ender chest monstrosity. And then through those under chests, and you know, we'll just see how he ends up taking it. So the thing with this wool, the reason that there's some bedrock on the outside, it's to prevent pass arounds super easily. You can pass around to the start of the wool in certain places, but once you get the wool, you're going to have to come out a little bit if you want to make a pass around. The sections with the green carpet are where you'll get void laned, so if you step on it, you're just going to die. And Muck having a bit of a rough time here. He is in a safe spot, but he has to worry about a cannon that's set up right in front of him. UNZ just needs some wood for buttons. Muck noticing that this is definitely where he chugged the regen potion. Yep. He's just trying to regret this. Regen 2 is it's 2 power bow shots that he's taking. The cannon is able to break the door, but Muck did escape the imminent threat of the cannon being right lined up with it. Oh no, he's going back into it. But a little bad timing by UNZ. So he's safe for now. He chugged the other regen 2 potion, it looks like, and he's just gonna try and push his way through. Now that cannon actually wouldn't have been too terrible. It would have gotten rid of the block he was standing on that he's trapped in. He has to mind that block before he progresses. So the cannon would have cleared the way for him to continue, eventually. Oh, it looks like some sort of counter cannon happened. Looks like it was just dry from Matsuzen, so able to save Muck for now. But he did get taken out. So even though the cannon was there, he couldn't stand up to the power bows, and that's a lot of armor and a lot of resources gone into a wall that didn't quite get completed. I mean, hey, 3 people shooting were able to defend the wall, so even though he did make it around halfway through the wall, that is all progress essentially reset that he's gonna have to take it through, and without the regen 2 potions. So really difficult blow. Although while that was happening, Void was taking on first wall, which has a lot more PvE elements. He was able to make it a little bit ways in. We saw Mini and Chillerfrost sort of gearing up to try and camp out over here. Chillerfrost is trying to stop Void, but Ash is here in full diamond and his own power bow. So Greg's in a little bit less armor. Still some decent armor of his own, but looks like he's not quite winning the battle. So Void is able to potentially make some progress. Night has fallen, or night is about to end, so we see people setting their beds, setting their spawns so they don't have to take fall damage from over here. Muck's trying to re-gear up, getting some of the iron ore so that he can potentially take it on, but 3 people were over here. So if they keep all 3 people over here, it might be a little difficult to run that in just some iron. Now Uplum is over here as well for iMpaKT, no Waffles. So it's a 2v3 over here right now. Uplum just able to set his bed before day hits. It's a 2v3, but USNZ has a lot better armor and a lot better gear, so we might see Contra not taking on this wall to start with pretty soon. It looks like he's tunneling to the entrance, and we'll see if iMpaKT and USNZ will be able to hold him off for a little bit. Void was able to make a lot more progress on the PvP portion. He's has some fire resistance, so he doesn't care about this lava right now. but Ash is keeping Chiller Frost at bay, so he's able to make as much progress as he wants. And he might be making progress without Chiller Frost even noticing. This is a really tough PvP section. The fire resistance is helping. How much fire resistance does he have? 8 minutes, so fire resistance is really helping. But especially if he gets shot in the fire, into the fire, that could be a death sentence, but Craig doesn't even really notice that he's here. He might be. He's sending him a cannon. But Ash is going to try and make that as difficult as possible, and it might not be fast enough, which is already past the section the cannon's at. Yeah, he's making a ton of progress on this section, just essentially for free. But we'll see how the battle's going at third. Doesn't look like Conchonaut's attempted it yet. It looks like he just paved the pathway for it and didn't quite try to make any progress on the wall. So Void has made it past some difficult PvP sections. This is a new version of it, so I don't quite know how much further he has left to go. But the main worry with these mobs are, especially the creepers, just knocking them out of the wall. So it's like Void's trying to back off and trying to eat a little bit before taking on this mess of mobs. Looks like he got poisoned by Cave Spider. So he might be waiting for that poison to... Now he's gonna push through and try and get rid of the spawner. And on the surface, Chiller Frost does have his cannon set up, but I don't think there's anything left for him to really cannon. We'll see. Does he have to go up through here? Not quite sure. Yeah, if the cannon were set up here, it'd be pretty decent. Oh, you just go through. I'm dumb. Alright, so the Void is very much at the end. He just has to get through this last bit of lava and then clear out this room of mobs, and then that'll be the first roll touch for either team. Around 20 minutes in. So not too bad. It doesn't look like there's an easy pass around that I can see. Just using some creepers to try and clear some mobs. Yeah, the main PvP section right now is going to be getting out, but it looks like he can potentially just get back to right here-ish. Yeah, it looks like he just needs to make it around this area, and then he can pass up to the surface. And then be done. And then it looks like Minnie's trying to make his own attempt on the wall as well. Although he's in similar armor to Void. Yeah, Ash does have a little bit of a spot set up for him to shoot. Greg can't quite easily shoot at him. Although he's doing a good job at making Minnie's life really difficult. Yeah, this last room built up a ton of spawns throughout the rest of the area. Him trying to get through. And does it look like Void's cheesing it? Void might be cheesing it. I'm almost positive Void's gonna cheese this. Yeah, do you have some cannons? Yeah. Chiller Frost set up a cannon. Doesn't look like it cleared out Ash all that much. But it did frighten him enough to get him to back off of Minzy for him to make progress. Any progress on third for either team? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, it just looks like there's just a battle going on, which is really good for impacting USNZ, because with the current gear advantage, I'm pretty sure USNZ could just run this and get it pretty easily. Matsuzen and Uplum and even Muck are just an iron, a little bit of diamond, but some iron, some power bows. but they have a much bigger gear advantage, so the fact that Muck was able to come back and re-gear, and doesn't look like he's, yeah, it looks like he's just running back. He might be trying to make an attempt on second wool, as opposed to trying third, but while that was happening, Void was able to touch the red wool, and it definitely looks like he, Jesus, just bridging across, and did he pull her down? Yeah, he pulled her down. So, didn't have to worry at all about the mob section at the end. Now he just has to make it to either completely run out or just make it to a section where he can pass around. I mean, he hasn't made all that. Hasn't made that much progress. Cannon set up by Osh right here at a really good section. He has to make his way upward to progress. So if he's able to blow up any of the blocks that he's trying to break and pillar up, then make progress really difficult. He's taking a beating too. Down to 4 yards. Pablo's doing some really good damage. Cannon from Chiller Frost, but not quite set up to do too much. It is at the pass around area. Yeah, the cannon's too late. Generally, the cannon would be better at like a vertical section. That's really difficult to make it through. Although Void is taking a beating too. He's blocked off. He's blocked off all the skeletons too. So he might be sitting here to regen before trying to make it out. He doesn't necessarily need to make his way all the way out. He is at a point where he can pass around through the front and pass around his armor, the wool, to Osh at the surface, but he might just be looking to say screw it and run all the way out himself. The cannon is set up at a place where he could pass around, but he's taking a real beating. Chillfrost's doing a really good job. Osh more focused right now on trying to stop Mini. That Void is just kind of all on his own, and Chillfrost can just sit here and shoot at him constantly. So it might pull Velosh back a little bit to try and shoot it at Chillfrost. And Void's just going through, able to make it to his doors, very safe. Still no cannon set up. It looks like they did have some cannons to try and stop some sections, but probably not the best sections to cannon off. So Void making even more progress, getting out. He just has a little ways to go, just through this section, and then he's essentially scot-free. But those sections are going to be a little bit more difficult to lock down. Launch is doing a really good job at locking Mini down at this section. Looks like Mini's mining obsidian to try and pillar himself up so that the obsidian can't get cannoned out. This is really, really interesting. Yep. And looks like Void has made it completely out. So that's the first wool secured for either team. Red wool for iMpaKT and a Waffles. Muck is making progress on the second wool. He's only an iron. But with all three of USNZ focused on the other wools, he's able to run it without really any pressure, which is, the mobs are really dangerous in this, and the PvP pressure is really dangerous too. So the fact that he's able to run it without much PvP pressure is really good. Meanwhile, because he's not getting any PvP pressure, that's because USNZ is taking on third wool. And like I said before, there's such a resource advantage for USNZ here that it looks like he's been able to make progress pretty easily. There are some cannons set up, although it's a really interesting angle, but it's not really doing anything to hit Conchonat. Good timing, just a little late after he's already moved on. So really the only thing that that iMpaKT and Waffles can do to try and stop Conchonat here is cannons, because Matsuzen's just going to get demolished with the resource disadvantage he had. Upland was taken out by B-Wen, so Conchonat able to just go essentially scot-free until Matsuzen gets a better angle. It's not quite as free as it might seem. That power bow still hurts. Still hurts. It doesn't have quite full enchanted diamond, but it's still really hurting. He has to make it to this section and then he's in. So he might just be using potions. Did I hear a potion? Fire resistance. Interesting. So he just has to break these couple blocks. It'd probably suit him to just stay blocked up and stay behind doors until he regens fully, and then he can just break those last 2 blocks and get in. Matsuzen can't quite set up a cannon to try and stop him, because if he does, then he can just walk right in. He's been really impatient with it, but he's able to get through, and that's the first wall touch for USNZ. He still has to make it out. Pass rounds are not nearly free in this wall because of the bedrock in the void lane, but that is the first wall touch for both teams. The layout is busted. Interesting. There's a panic button. Is that gonna... What happens if I just disconnect? Nope, that's not the right server. There we are. Fixes itself. So, Kanjina still has to make his way out, which is going to be still really difficult. But especially because Uplum is here now, and Void has come out. He got back from the wall, and he's able to provide pressure. So it's 3 people over here with some good armor, some good bows, able to try and stop him from getting out. Although it doesn't look like they're going to be trying to run at all. We'll see if this ends up working. What USNZ is trying to do is they're trying to throw the wall and have someone on their team pick it up. Although it looks like it's getting stuck over here. It looks like what they were trying to do was get it to flow out of the water and flow past the bedrock so that Ott could pick it up over the void lane. But the first one didn't work, so now any future roll that gets thrown is just collecting in here. So that's not going to be able to be collected really in any way. Conchonaut, does he have any wool to begin with? There's 6 wool left. He has to have more wool. Oh yeah, there's 13 wool left from to use. This wool's gone. Even though you can see it, the wool's gone. Oh, there it is. No, it went too far. And there it is. They were able to get it. It's only 1 piece, which is a little precarious. There's still... Conchonaut has 5. He's tossing even more. There's not that much left. But that 1 piece is really all you need. They just have to make sure that that 1 piece of wool is as secure as possible. So that's 1 wool secure for both teams. Although, to be fair, with various degrees of security. Ace does have a lot of really good armor too, so he's still going to have to try and make his way out. Getting that 1 piece secured can do 2 things. One, it can take some pressure off from iMpaKT Nova Waffles to for him to potentially be able to just run out a bit easier, because now they're not as focused. They already got a piece secured. Potentially they probably don't know that they only have 1 piece secured, so they might not focus too hard on trying to stop Conchonaut. Getting rid of that armor is going to be really good if they can kill him, but they might not focus as much on that and might focus more on just protecting Void, who's now making his own attempt on this wall. So he has some ways to go. That cannon didn't do anything to stop Muck in his first attempt, but it made it more difficult for Void to make his attempt. Speaking of Muck, how is his progress? Looks like he's made a ton of progress. He backtracked for some reason. Oh, this is a lever wall. That's why. So there's levers throughout here that you have to flip. You can tell by the fact that this is watered, so it can't get blown up. But either way, Muck just has this last section to go, and then that's going to be 2 walls secure for iMpaKT Nova Waffles. This one, pass runs are a little more difficult, but not exactly. You just have to go back through the section. You can pass around over there, but even still, there's no one over here to stop Muck, so he's going to be able to just run out essentially scot-free. It's a PvE wall, So he does have to worry about spawners, but with all the light here and breaking spawners, it's going to be a pretty easy walk for him to get back out. It looks... I was saying that Contranaut might potentially run back out. He might not. He might just stay here for eternity to get a really good angle in really good armor to try and stop Void from making his attempt. Uplum has to be careful. He almost got Void Lane himself. But oh no, just kidding, he's running out. How much wool does he have on him? He has 6 pieces of wool. But he's still being careful. He probably could have been fine just staying in here to get a really good, like, the only way that he's gonna get killed is if there's someone like on level with him. Like in the same section of the wall, which Void did make it to. Or if there was a cannon that landed right in here. That would have been a really good angle for Contranaut to just stay. Ooh, we got a cannon. Yeah, Contranaut noticed and he backed off. Yeah, that Susan's just so fast with reloading this cannon and fixing the timing that like it might be more unless Contranaut's trying to run second wall as well. It'd probably be better for him to just stay in here. Although he's just about at the end, so maybe not. Maybe he's making an attempt to try and run back. So Muck is near the section that he died last time. So he's not Muck. Void is at the section that Muck died last time. He has plenty of doors to make his way through, and plenty of health currently. The ender chests are going to make his doors a little more difficult to do. But let's see how first is going for both teams. So Void did make it out, but Minnie has made some really good progress on the wall. Ash is still over here trying to stop him, but he's made some solid progress. And he has to make it through these lava sections a little bit. This section he's at right here. He has to go up through the... No, it doesn't. Yeah, it does. He has to go up through the lava, I think. I don't know. I should know this wall a little bit better, but I mean, he's making some really good progress. Looks like he's still mining some obsidian to use. Actually, he didn't use it as blocks at all. He used it to stop TNT. That's really smart. That's really smart for Mini. It took a while to mine all the TNT, or the obsidian, but really, really smart there. It's a Void. Has made it to this water section. No, it isn't. He backtracked to the water section. Yeah, he's backtracking here. I'm not quite sure why. Where's Contranaut might be heading back. Yeah, Contranaut's heading back to make progress on second wall. Oh, just kidding. He made it to the wall and I didn't even notice. That's why he's backtracking. So, there's 2 different lockdowns that iMpaKT and Waffles could do. They have Mini sort of lockdown, not perfectly lockdown, but he's stopping him from making some progress. Contranaut is limited here by the mobs he has to fight through, but they could potentially draw someone back to try and stop him from making progress here. Doesn't look like they're doing that. They might just be going all in on the first lockdown and trying to get Void out here. This is a really tough section that he's going to have to get through. There is no cannon setup though, so as long as Uplum, Matsuzen, and Muck can give good enough cover, he'll be able to make it. Matt has a cannon for... yeah, a little bit too much power for Hawk. What a setup over here. Yeah, this is a really tough one for Void because he has to 1, mine the signs, and 2, he has to either ladder or pillar himself up, but he has 2 people aimed directly at him. Uplum getting supplies in this area. I don't quite know what was in it though. Right, Void's making his attempt. Yeah, it looks like he's trying to just make a tiny bit of progress at a time, especially since there's no cannon pressure up here. Probably because there's a cannon set up directly across from it. It's almost getting taken out. If he would have died, that might have been it right there. Contra died. Contra might have died, and I didn't even notice. So that's definitely slowing down USNZ a ton. Boy, yeah, he's just inching his way across through these sections. There's one more door that he has to go up, and then down, and then he's done. So impact and Noble Waffles are all in on trying to get Void out of here. Really nice cannon to try and dislodge Ock from his perch, but that cannon might have been enough for him to just be distracted for Void to make it out. So that's all 3 wolves secured for Impact and Noble Waffles. Contranet, how much progress did he make? So he got that lever flipped, but taking this on without his diamond armor is going to be a lot slower and a lot more deadly, as we see right there. What did he end up dying to? Yeah, he got poisoned. He might have got blown out by a creeper or something. Mini is making progress. He just has to make it through this area. He's making progress. He's not nearly as close to being done as he needs to be. And Conjonaut's not nearly as close to being done with second wall as he needs to be either. Although, did a creeper blow up the... Creeper might have blown up the lever. And he might not have the... Yeah, it doesn't look like he has the supplies to remake another lever. So he's going to have to make it all the way back to here to get the wood to come all the way back to place the lever, which is even more time that's being wasted. Meanwhile, Void has made it. He has all 3 of the wolves. He just has to make it up here into the victory monument, and there's no one really to stop him, so this looks like it's going to be game. Once Void's finished with his victory run, he has a pretty safe way up. Tunnel that Osh made, and no matter how much progress Mini's making, he's inching his way through. But part of the reason why the mobs were so bad here is Chillerfrost has been here this entire time, activating all of these spawners. But what has made it? The Victory Monument's watered. There's Green Wool, there's Lime Wool, and there's Red Wool, and that is game. Really solid match. I'll post the base HTML in chat. X5 general. Yeah, I guess. Is there... no, don't do general. Come to spectators for now. Really solid game. I think if Conjonaut hadn't died in second wool, they might have been able to get second wool in time. But I don't think Mini was making fast enough progress to get third wool in and out in time. So Osh on his own had a really strong lockdown over here. Like the fact that Mini had to take the time to mine obsidian to stop the cannons, just from this one cannon, is pretty insane. It was sort of a counter cannon, but not really. But really interesting resource battle at the very start. Having TNT incredibly easily accessible for both teams made for some really interesting cannons at the very start, and interesting resource denial. Although, the diamonds that Conjonaut wasn't able to get rid of didn't end up mattering because Buck ended up dying. But the diamonds in here in first resources, I think they were able to get 2 from this one, and then all 3 from over here. And I think that's what Void had for the entire game, to run both first and third. So really, I don't know how much of a difference that one cannon ended up making, but it seemed like it made a pretty decent dent. The fact that even though it wasn't a really hard lockdown at third, the fact that Muck and Matt, Susan, and Uplum were able to hold third for as long as possible with as little gear as they had, where it was actually a really solid, really good part of the game for them, because it held down Contranet for long enough that he wasn't able to make progress on second or help with first or something. So even if many had been able to make a lot of progress on this spool, they still had second that they needed to do, and especially that death really hurt them. It's easy up. There. Is everyone in that channel? I don't want to be in a channel with everyone. It's gonna be chaos. Whatever.
Shot unless you went below.